Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Hospitality Hacks Pro podcast. I am your host, Tasha Jackson. Happy to bring you tips, tricks, and tidbits, aka hacks, to help you grow your food and beverage business. Glad to see y'all today. All right, let's jump right in. Happy New Year. If I haven't seen you or talked to you, Happy New Year. Hope you have a great start to 2023. All right, all right. And we're going to talk about 8 ways to grow your food and beverage sales in 2023. Okay. How to grow in 2023. What are some things you can focus in on to grow your bottom line sales? Let's dig in. I got 8 hacks today. Let's dig in. Let's dig in. Some of these you've heard me talk about before, and I'm going to keep talking about it until y'all do it. Okay. Because it's still important. Just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's no longer the truth. You know what I mean? Let's dig in. This is in no particular order. No particular order. Okay. So I'm going to say number one, but it might not be the number one thing, might not be the top of my list, but I will start here. And you know what? I'm actually going to venture out and say this is number one. I'm going to venture out and say this is number one. Consistent pre-shift meetings. Consistent pre-shift meetings. Okay. Listen up. Okay. I don't care if you have 2 people in the front of the house. I don't care if you have 1 person in the front of the house. If it's 1 cook and 1 cashier, or what 2 cooks and 1 server, or it's you and your business partner, y'all, before you start the shift, before you unlock the doors and welcome your first guests, there needs to be a powwow. There needs to be a coming together. There needs to be a meeting of the minds. Okay. We need to all be on the same page. The purpose of the pre shift is so your front of the house and back of the house are on the same page. Your front of the line, they know, what am I selling? What am I pushing? Are there any specials? All right. Is there anything going on? Is it National Donut Day and we're doing a donut special? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? In addition, the pre-shift meeting is an opportunity for you as the owner and or operator to do some coaching, to encourage your team if they've been doing some awesome things. All right, whatever they've been doing well. Yo, we increased sales 12% from last week to this week. I really want to shout out Tiffany, who had 2 great guest feedback comments. I got an email about Brandon, how awesome he was. Right. I got an email about the food. Thank you, Freddie, in the back. Got an email that salmon was on point. It was the best piece of salmon they ever had. Perfectly seasoned, perfect temperature, nice and moist. Give that, like, people need that. Okay. If the only time you talk to your team is when something's going wrong, the only time you have a meeting is when something's going sideways, no bueno. That's no good. That's no good. Okay. So consistent pre-shift meetings, consistent pre-shift, meaning not just, ooh, when I remember. Okay. Every shift, every day you unlock your doors. All right. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out situation. It'd be 60, 90 seconds. Boom, boom. This is our focus. This is our special. Good job on this. Let's work on this. Let's go get them, guys. Pump them up. Quote of the day, something. Joke of the day, something. This is a perfect time. Also, if somebody has a birthday or something, or an anniversary. Hey, Joey's been with the company 3 years. He had his anniversary last week. We're so glad you're still here with us, Joey. Right? Come on. Consistent pre-shift meetings. All right. The next one, routinely review your profit and loss statements with the leadership team. I've worked in my fair share of restaurants in multiple different capacities, but the restaurants that ran the smoothest and that did the best job in increasing sales and increasing guest satisfaction were the restaurants that the leadership team routinely met. Okay. So once a week, they sat down, pulled out the paperwork, looked line by line. We spent money too much here. We overspent here. Oh, okay. We can afford to spend a little bit more here. Our sales was this. We didn't reach the goal by that. Inspect what you expect. Come on, somebody. Inspect what you expect, right? If you never look at the numbers, if you don't have a sales goal, how do you know what you're shooting for, right? If you do not have a target, what are you aiming for? Why are we here if there's no target, right? So listen, routinely review the P&L statement with the leadership team, all right? Everybody on your leadership team, managers, right? Owners, if they're active in the restaurant daily or weekly, everybody on the leadership team should know, yo, our sales goal for this week is X. All right, our sales goals, we were off in sales by X number last month, right? Because if it's not top of mind, right, everything trickles from the top down. If you're not thinking about it, you think your team is thinking about it? You think your team is worried about increasing sales if you don't even know what your goal is as a leader? Psych. They're not, right? If you're not talking about it, hey guys, I need everybody to sell, 12 desserts tonight, right? Because the average dessert cost is, I don't know what, $6. If everybody sells 12, that gives me X number of dollars, bing, bing, bang, right? If you're not pushing that, they're not pushing it. Simple. And if you keep it top of mind, communicate that to your team during the pre-shift meeting. See how this connects there? Then you get the results that you're looking for, right? If you just unlock the doors to be like, "Ooh, I made it in today," like like that's your accomplishment for today. We need to push a little bit more, just a little bit more. All right. Next one, ask guests for feedback. Listen, if you ask, they will tell. You heard that saying, if you build it, they will come. If you ask, they will tell. If you ask your guests, hey, what can we do better to serve you? I promise you. Now, every single person is not going to want to fill out a survey. Every single person is not going to want to, participate in that. But if you don't even try, you get nothing. Right? So if you extend that invitation, hey, can you fill out this survey? Hey, can we have a conversation? Hey, can you do a Google review? Hey, can you send me an email? I see you every week. Can you send me an email and tell me what keeps you coming back, and also share with us what can we do better to serve you? We want you to keep coming back and we appreciate you. You will get the feedback if you ask. All right? And that's the only way to get better is feedback. Otherwise, you just out here blind. Right? A lot of people, when they have a bad experience, they just never come back. When the bun is dry, when somebody, burnt the burger, right? The coleslaw is rancid, they just won't come back. The seats are sticky when they sit down. When the guests go to the bathroom, they hear the line cook cussing and fussing on the phone, all right, to his baby mama, right? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see that from a guest perspective every single time, but your guest will tell you if you ask. Side note, we'll make this 3B because 3 is ask your guest for feedback, but 3B we'll say is go into your establishment, visit your establishment as a guest regularly. If you don't have the time, energy, or desire to do it, send someone. Send a representative. Send a secret shopper. Send somebody on your leadership team. Send your consultant in, right? To evaluate as if they are a customer, as if they are a guest. Walk in or call. Get that delivery. I want to see what the packaging looks like. I want to see if the sauce is spilled all in the bag. I want to see if they forgot to put the fork in the bag. Right? I want to walk up to the register and pay and see if the cashier asked me, would I like a drink with my meal? Or how about dessert? If they're trying to get that upsell, right? I want to sit in the booth. I want to see if it's sticky. I want to see if the menus have been wiped down today, right? So, y'all, listen, it's so valuable. It's so valuable. I digress. Let's move on. All right, next one. Number 4, cross train your high performers. Cross train your high performers. Listen, we're talking about the 8 ways that you can grow your food and beverage business in 2023. Get those sales up. Let's go. If we not coming for the money, what we coming for? All right. If you want to cook just to watch people eat your food, you can go cook for there's homeless shelters that need help, right? People on the street that need food. Seriously. Like I'm not being funny. It's people on the street who need food. I'm sure there's orphanages. There's a orphanage if you're in a metropolitan area, right? There's some communities that are underserved that they would love a hot meal, served expertly, made with love, that tastes delicious, right? So if you're cooking and serving just for the love of cooking and serving, we don't worry about the money. Don't take money. Let's go serve these underserved populations out here. Some people who need food, right? The homeless people, right? That need some food. Most of us open our operation in order to turn a profit so we can support ourselves and support our families and grow a brand and grow a business. So if you're showing up for the money, which is okay, it's okay, right? If you're showing up for the money, why not get the most bang for your buck? Why not grow your bottom line sales? Like if we gonna do this, let's do this. Let's do this thing right. All right. All right. So your high performers, the people who are showing up and showing out daily, day after day, cross train them in another position. Right. And it doesn't mean you gotta be careful with this. You gotta be careful because for multiple reasons, but you want your aces in their places, right? You want the aces in their places. So if you have a bomb bartender, they're the best they make the best drinks. They have awesome personality. People come in and ask for them. If they don't see this person at the bar, they might walk out. Like this bartender, you may want to say, all right, you've been here for a little while. Maybe we'll cross train you in a supervisor position. We might let you fulfill that role once a week if this person wants to grow and expand, right? That doesn't mean I take them off the bar. That means I teach and develop this person to be able to fulfill another position. So if and when you're in a crunch, maybe somebody didn't show up to work, maybe somebody got fired, maybe somebody quit, and you need to pull somebody. Oh, I need some help on the floor. Oh, I need some help in the kitchen. I need some help, right? You have somebody who's familiar already. You don't wait until the crisis to then try to train people on the fly. It's the worst type of training. Some people thrive in a sink or swim environment, and most people don't. Okay, so train them before you need them to be familiar with another position. If you have a host that's just knocking it out the park, they're doing a fantastic job seating the guests, they're smiling, they're welcoming, right? They're keeping the rotation in order, right? Your server's not mad because they're seating people out of order, right? And they're not double and triple seating servers who can't handle a double seat, right? That host, they might have some potential to do something else. We might need to train them on takeout. Like, hey, let me show you how to bag these orders for takeout, right? We may need to train them as a busser. We may need to train them as a server, right? It also depends on that person's aspirations, right? If they're good with hosting, they don't want to do anything else but host. And if you try to make them do something else, they're walking, that's typically not your high performer anyway. But you don't want to push if it's not something they're open to. But your typical high performer is gonna want to grow. They're gonna want to, they enjoy being the best. They take pride in their job. And they won't mind if you say, hey, listen, I want to just show you the functions of this other position. So just in case you want some extra money and you want to pick up a shift, or just in case we're in a tight spot and we might need to ask you to help out for a couple of hours, you already know what to do and you feel good about it. Is that okay? Your typical high achiever, high performer, they're not gonna have a problem with that. Typically. Okay. So cross train these folks. So when you get in a pinch, they're there. Your prep cook who's showing up consistently every single morning, getting the prep done in record time, less time than it normally takes any other cook, right? We might need to cross train them on fry. We might need to cross train them on saute. we might need to cross train them on the grill, right? They might, you have all this extra time left because you finish your prep faster than anybody else. Instead of cutting them and sending them home, like instead of punishing them for doing a good job and finishing it correctly and quickly, say, hey, yo, I know you're scheduled till 5, it's 4. I know you're scheduled till 3, it's 2 o'clock. Let me show you a couple things over here real quick. Again, typical high performer, not a problem. Sure, they're still on the clock, they good. If the alternative is, oh, you're done, go home, or you just stand there or you ride the clock, right? Why not? Why not show them, right? This is also how you develop your people. This is also how your people see that there's some movement within the company, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I'm not stuck cutting fries for the next 10 years. Like, there's another job I can do. I can grow, I can pivot, right? I don't have to wash dishes forever, right? If I keep doing a good job, I know they show me how to do fry. If I keep doing a good job on dish and keep these dishes nice and clean and coming through, not breaking them, right? Not clogging up the machine, right? Maybe they'll let me, maybe they'll let me do something else on the line, right? And generally, the more you know, the more you grow, the more money you can make, right? When that person comes to you asking for a raise, hey, boss, uh, you know, we just got through the holidays, Christmas coming up, and I was just wondering, I've been here about a year, and I'm just, in the interview you said it was some opportunity for advancement. I was just trying to, I need an extra 50 cents an hour, an extra $1 an hour or something. Okay. All right, Joey. Yeah, okay. Fair. You're asking me for what you need. I understand. Let me tell you what I need. In order for me to be able to justify giving you this extra money, that means you're going to have to give me a little bit more too. That means I may need to put you in a different position once or twice a week, or I need to, you know what I mean? If my grill cook calls out, I might need your help, right? Hey, it's give and take. It's give and take. All right, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Ooh, this one. Number 5, perform exit interviews. Most small to medium-sized businesses do not do this. But let me tell you, hold on. I need a let me get a sip of water for this one. I had a company get mad at me. I won't say mad. I had a general manager who was unhappy with me because I asked the human resources department to do an exit interview for a particular team member who was leaving. Now, let me give you the background on this, okay? This restaurant I was a manager at, I was I a service manager or kitchen manager? It doesn't matter really. This restaurant I was at, I worked in multiple positions in this. At this particular point, I was the kitchen manager, right? You always have, speaking of high performers, right? Your top A players, your aces. You're going to always have them. Everyone's not going to fit in that category. You're going to have A, B, C players, right? I don't count anything lower than a C player, because if you're lower than a C player, you need to go. I'm just saying. If you operating on a D level, if you operating on an F level, if I can't see a way, if you're not open to being coached and coaching up, if you can't coach that person up to an average, C is an average, right? It's an average score, middle of the road, not the worst, not the best, right? If I can't coach you up to a C, you gotta go, right? So you're gonna have your A players, you're gonna have your B players, you're gonna have your C players. This particular person at this restaurant was an A player. He was he knew multiple positions, okay, in the front of the house, and he was cross training to learn the back of the house as well. All right. He was had the ability to operate as a supervisor for us if needed, and help run the floor and like give direction to maybe more inexperienced servers. Okay. So this person was an A player. This person came to us and said, hey, listen, I got to give him a 2 weeks notice, because of this, because of that, because of this. Appreciate the notice. In my mind, what I'm thinking is, this is an A player. He's not happy here. Let's get to the root cause of why this person is leaving us. Because if you were a C, D, or F player and you decided to leave, it's really no skin off my nose. I probably was trying to figure out how to get rid of you anyway. So farewell. Right? But when your A and your B players leave, figure out why. Right? And so I had multiple conversations with this person, and I felt like I wasn't really getting what the meat and potatoes of it, right? And I felt like he didn't want to throw anyone under the bus, so to speak. I felt like he didn't want to be fully honest, because he didn't really want to kind of rock the boat. He wanted to do his last 2 weeks and leave. Okay. So I reached out to HR, reached out to human resources, explained the situation, like, hey, awesome team member, let us know he's leaving. Would love if somebody could just reach out, have a conversation, maybe do an exit interview and see, kind of where things went wrong, right? If everything was perfect, why would he leave? Something went wrong, right? So HR was like, we normally don't do that unless it's a manager. I'm like, I understand. Let's see we'll see what we could do, right? So someone, I don't know if it was HR or the district manager, but someone called the general manager, and I don't know, asked him about it or whatever. He comes to me like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, what do you mean? Such and such told me that you wanted to do an exit interview, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, and I explained my reasoning. My thought process is, why would we not want to know why a top performing team member is leaving? Like, I was confused why they were confused. Like, why are y'all confused about this? Right? What you only see the value in doing an exit interview for a manager? Well, why? A manager is valuable, yes, but the team members just as valuable, right? Just as valuable. So why not? Why not invest the energy to have a 15-20 minute conversation and see where that person's coming from? So I encourage you, have the exit interview. Exit interviews help you to see why people are leaving, where they're going next, right? And then that can keep the door open. Like, maybe somebody decides to leave if they're on good standing and there's no animosity, and they go somewhere else. The grass ain't always greener on the other side, as they say. They may go somewhere else and be like, oh man, I had my schedule just like I wanted it at ABC restaurant. They gave me Thursday nights off so I could watch my program. They let me be off on Mondays so I could pick up my kid from soccer. And this new place, they don't want to work on my schedule. They don't care. You can leave the door open with the exit interview. Like, hey, listen, if you ever want to come back, we can have that conversation. We're sorry to see you go, but we understand. La 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 la. Can you tell us more about what you're looking for in your career? Can you tell us more about your experience here? What did you like? What didn't you like? What could we have done better while you were here? Right? Get as much information as you can from that person. I'm just saying. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. Is that crazy? Am I crazy? I think it makes beautiful sense. I don't know. All right, next. Teach your front of the house to sell without words. This is one of my favorites. Okay? Selling without words. One of my favorites. I love a good slight nod. Gonna have dessert with that today? A little chocolate molten cake with whipped cream, caramel drizzle. I love it. I love it. I love the slight nod. I love the lean in. How was your day today? Right? Look, I'm trying to tell y'all. All right? The smile. Oh my goodness. When you walk into a restaurant and people are walking around all sullen, like everybody having a bad day here. I don't know if I want y'all making my food. I don't know if I want you preparing and serving food to me. Like everybody, the host, the busser, the server, the bartender, the line cooks, the manager, everybody. Come on, everybody can't be having a bad day. Let's go. Somebody smile at me, please. Welcome me in. Okay. What's another one? Uh, I'm listen. Body language s- speaks volumes. Okay. Um, understand food is only one element in your business. Understand food is only one element in your business. Arguably, not even the most important element. Fight me. What's up? You agree or disagree? Food in a food and beverage operation is not the most important element to guest satisfaction. It is not the most important element in sales. Which I'm ready. Who want to fight? I'm telling you, listen, I can go to an operation that has okay food, mediocre food, but outstanding service. Like the service blows me out of the water. I feel so taken care of and appreciated, and everything is prompt and coming out like clockwork, and they're giving me everything I need. I will go back. Excellent service, mediocre food. I can go to an operation that has an outstanding product. I mean, fall off the bone, melt in your mouth, all the things. Outstanding food product. And the service is horrible, or the restaurant stinks, or the bathroom is dirty, or my feet are sticking to the floor, or the music is too loud. I'm not coming back. So, food is important. A lot of times as chefs, you focus on the food so much. Oh, the menu, the menu. What we it's important, but it's not the most important. Arguably. Arguably. Let's argue. What's up? To me, I venture to say it's not in the top 3. Look at McDonald's. I pick on them all the time. If you're watching this, you probably can make a better hamburger than McDonald's. I don't know what their sales were in 2022, but I know it was in the millions of dollars. I'll Google it later. I know it was in the multi millions of dollars. Why? It wasn't because of the awesome hamburger. Do with that what you will. Okay. Last one. We talking about 8 ways to grow your food and beverage sales in 2023 to kick this new year out. Kick it off. Kick it out, kick it up, kick it off, all the things. Okay. Last thing, build your team, build your squad. Make sure you have a consultant on your team. It doesn't have to be me. Matter of fact, I'm not even taking any new clients until May 2023. But you can get on the waiting list. We can't talk about it though. But listen, have the power of someone else's perspective. Especially as a small to medium sized operation. Now, if you're a huge giant corporation with 3 to 5 restaurants in every metro city in the US and some in other countries, you have this built in already, right? You have directors who going to come once a quarter or however often they come and look around and, oh yes, we need to plant some flowers here, trim this tree. There's a crack in the glass, let's get some. Okay, I'm hearing the servers do this. I'm tasting the food, it's not to the spec that we would like. Let's revisit the expectations there. I see this, I hear this, I smell this, I feel this. Here's how we can fix it. Bye bye. Right? You have that built in. But if you're a small restaurant, you may not. If you're a medium-sized restaurant, right, looking to franchise soon, or you're just one little independent store that this your bread and butter though, right? And you doing your thing, you need another set of eyes to help you gain some outside perspective of what you could do differently, better, what you're doing great, right? So those are the 8 things. I'm gonna rattle them off real quick as a recap. All right, 8 ways to grow. Let's see. 1, consistent pre-shift meetings. 2, routinely review your profit and loss statements with the leadership team. 3, ask guests for feedback. 4, cross-train your high performers. 5, perform exit interviews, especially with the high performers. Okay. 6, teach your front of the house to sell without words. Okay. 7, understand food is only one element in your business, not the end all be all, not necessarily even the most important element. I'm just saying. All right. And then 8, make sure you have a consultant on your team. Let's go. All right. This is not everything, but this is I did a little brainstorm, and these are the things that came to me top of mind. I hope this is helpful to someone. If you have a question about any of this, feel free to drop it in the comments. Feel free to email me at info@hospitalityhackspro.com. I'm your host of the Hospitality Hacks Pro podcast, Tasha Jackson. Happy to be of service. It has been my pleasure, and I will see you again soon. Farewell, friends. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all the stuff.